You have absolutely nothing in your assessment that tells me that you have a weak core. And ironically, you have no trunk movement issues at all, which is very cool. It's weird to see, right? The center of mass is great. It's how you load your scap. So your UCL problems, to me, are from staying long and not getting enough help from your lower half and from your scap. Okay. So the first thing we'll look at is your position of your forearm here at handbrake. So as you come down, okay, that back of your hand, we should be able to see that. If you're going to keep a long arm path like that, we should be able to see the back of your hand a little bit better, okay, like that, okay? That's going to allow you to actually load with a long arm swing, okay? If you had a short, Mike, you explain it.
Yeah, so was he long with no pronation?
He's long and no pronation.
So long and no pronation, you go up, you're not going to really retract your scap at all. Once you start to pronate your wrist, and you try right now, once you pronate your arm, you'll have a much easier
Stand
time
up for a minute.
loading that back.
Now
here.
go back along with your arm like you do, but keep it there. Now you can pull it back behind you. The way you generally pull your arm back here. You feel it, you can't get back there. So what's happening is you're not getting this elastic energy that's going to allow you to keep this arm closer to your body the whole time, right? Which is going to affect how much layback you get as well. Because when you hit the ground with your arm closer to your body, it's going to naturally kick this back. When you hit the ground with your arm, even if it's in here but it's far away, it's not going to get as much layback. And you're going to see that you don't get much layback. Okay? So if you don't get much layback, you don't get much kickback in the acceleration phase, which means that a lot of this is with your arm. Okay? So if you look right here, you're not loading, and you can see how you bring your arm up because you're not loading. There's no scap load. You're just kind of bringing it up. See what I'm saying? And now you're here. Now, that's not a bad position at all for your arm to be in. And if you were loading, I would say leave it alone, the long arm swing. But this is cool, okay? But the problem is that you have absolutely no load. So when you go in your scaps, because if you look from this side, look at the back of your body. That's about the most load you get. I would say that's probably 15 degrees, okay? We look for like 30 to 51, okay? So you're not getting a whole lot of scap load there, so you're not getting any help, okay? Scap retraction at foot plant is this. You have almost none. You have almost none, okay? This looks like you're retracting. You're retracting your glove side scap, but you're not retracting this at all. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So the next thing is your glove side timing. Okay. Your glove side timing. You keep this. You never really fully bring that arm. You never really fully supinate this glove side till you get to the end. So what happens is you don't really get to retract that scap and get as hard of a pull as you need, okay? So that's another one, okay? At max external rotation, you're done already, and you're not at max external rotation, and you can see right here, your max external rotation. Is this gonna shut off on me later? Your max external rotation is like 138 degrees. Okay, we're looking for 160 to 180. 160 is like, anyway, you know what I'm talking about. It's flatter, okay? And you don't really get it, and you also get it really late. Like, you should be hitting max external rotation almost back here and letting ER carry you through. So why do you think you're not in max external rotation right here early? Because your arm never stays close to your body, so you can't get this arm spiraling and up into position. You come here, and as you drive it forward with your elbow, you get to max ER really late. Okay, so then you have to get rid of it really late. And I will tell you honestly, up until a year ago, I used to tell people that you want to get into max ER as late as possible and not keep your arm in this position. But I've been reading a lot and I've been finding out that there's more stress on the UCL when you go in and out of a scap load really quick than you actually keep it in this position and bring it forward into a better position to actually let it loose, okay? And what you're doing is, you're not getting into your maximum external rotation until here, and now you have to get rid of it immediately. So you're going in and out of this position, even though it's not very much, you're going in and out of this position really fast. And you want to get into more max ER, and you want to get into it further back, and you want to bring it forward with your torso, okay? Carry it through, all right? So there's two things. One is the way you're loading your scap is not keeping your arm close to your body, and then when you do hit the ground and you come back, that tight lat that I was talking about is not allowing you to get that. You have super tight lats, okay? So tight lats, working on that lat work, like I told you, will help you get into max ER better. Getting a scap load will help you get more out of this load and not make you have to do, right now, because you don't get into max ER and you don't load and get a good elastic energy here, you're overusing your arm and it's bothering your elbow. Let's talk about the lower end.
You'll be amazed once you start getting the scap load how much easier the ball's going to feel coming out of your hand.
It feels like you're not throwing the ball.
It's 10 times less stressful.
So let's start from the very beginning of what the initial problem is here. This is marginal, the way you load your glute. You're really explosive. I mean, like, your explosive tests on the jump mat were really good. You move in the frontal plane really well. The problem is you have really tight hips. It's what makes you explosive because you're wound up real tight, your hips are wound up real tight, but A, it can cause injury, and B, it can cause stability issues. So what happens here is we don't want that knee. See how you can't really see it, but you see your knee?
Yeah.
We don't want that knee coming past the toe, this line, okay? And it does, okay? You get back, so I'm not as concerned, but because you're slightly closed and your arm is far from your body, you have to get this going on right now, this tilt that you have, okay? You're vaulting off the mound. So if you look at your back foot, you want to explain vaulting, Mike?
Say that, vaulting?
Yeah, so what we look for is, we look for your ankle to evert. What happens is the hip turns, and then we watch the knee turn, and we watch the ankle go sideways and then off the rubber, right? So what's happening is your hips and knee turn, but your heel is off the ground. You don't actually evert your ankle at all. It comes right off the ground, okay? If you could get a little bit more hip flexibility off that, you would actually be able to get that foot down a little bit more before you actually, see, when your foot's down, you're pretty extended, okay? So it's not so much that you're jumping, you're not staying into that tripod of your back foot long enough.
Oh yeah.
Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think so.
You want that heel to pop up right as the front foot is
Like there.
about to hit the ground.
Like right there, you want that heel. See how it's about to hit the ground?
Yeah.
That's where you want your heel to start coming off the ground. Your heel's been coming off the ground.
Right.
Like even like right there.
It's basically like one hits then right after the other
And
one.
it looks like a little bit right now, but this motion, this is so fast that's a pretty good distance right here. You know what I mean? So, and the last thing is your lead leg stability when you land. And that's that ankle mobility we talked about, and your tight IR in your left hip. So it's left hip, insufficient hip IR, and ER. So you don't have external rotation of your left hip, and you don't have internal rotation of your left hip. You don't have external rotation of your right hip or internal rotation of your right hip. Okay? So what happens is when you land right here, watch when your foot hits the ground. You see this? See that move? See this move? Look at your foot. As you land, see that knee bows out? See it?
Yeah.
You see this knee bowing out right there? That's leaking energy. Okay? You're not stopping. You're not stopping. If anything, when you land, right, your knee, this knee should come back in.
Oh, yeah.
you're going the opposite way. Watch, like for example, I always use Grenke because I love his mechanics. So when he lands, his knee will actually come back in. See that?
Yeah.
How his knee comes in? His knee doesn't really keep going out to the side. It actually never goes out to the side. He lands, it buckles back and then goes in as he pulls. So what he's doing is his knee goes in because he's using this groin muscle to pull his, and when you pull this groin muscle, the knee, the leg goes in, okay? And that's what he's doing. So what he's doing is he's landing, he's stopping dead, okay? Has no wobble in his ankle, and then he braces and pulls. And he's pulling his hip, and he's pulling his body around, and he's getting that great post up, okay?
Can you draw the lines on Grenke?
Draw, the knee dominant hip, the glute.
Yeah.
Jim DeRosa called. Crashed.